I wish, I really wish this was a clickbait false story, but it's not. So, I have been always looking to upgrade my gear. As you guys know, I overly invest in tons of tech that I rarely, if ever, actually end up using. You know, this camera for one, the voice transformer for another, the entire backup streaming setup that I never use. So, me investing money into something is not an uncommon thing. And on September 29th or 30th, I put up an ad that said, hey, I'm looking to buy a Blackmagic 6K camera for about $1,500 on Kijiji, which is like Canadian Craigslist. Obviously, you get the scammers who come in like, you know, hello, this is the IRS tax people, you know, you owe us money. You get those kind of people. Those are ignorable. But then I had one guy reach out and say, hey, you know, I have the camera, and when can you come get it? I was like, okay, that sounds like legit to me. You know, I'm telling him where I am in Calgary, and he says, he's like, you're not in, he's like, I thought you were in Saskatchewan. So he's like, I'm in Purdue, Saskatchewan. I've never heard of Purdue, Saskatchewan. Based on the metrics I see, I don't think anyone's ever heard of Purdue, Saskatchewan. But we talk, and I'm like, you know what? You're 6 hours away from Calgary. That's drivable distance. I'm like, I will work with you to get this thing shipped over to me, considering how close you actually are. You know, if it's across Canada in like Winnipeg, I'm not going to work with that. But 6 hours away, if we have to go over there, we can. So I decided to say, okay, I'll work with you on this. And we go back and forth, and I have him send me pictures to, you know, make sure the camera exists, because even then I'm still a little skeptical. So I have him send me over this picture, and well, he sends me this picture when I ask for a picture of the camera. And I was like, okay, you know, it's a little bit weird that you like nulled the whole thing, but you know, I appreciate it. So I can see all the accessories. That's cool and all. But I was like, I'm like, that picture seems a little bit too staged. So I'm like, hey, get me a picture of that silver thing at the top of the lens area, which is what says 6K on it, because the 4K and the 6K, they look a little similar, you know, in body style. So you got to make sure it's a 6K. And sure enough, about 50 minutes later, he sends me a picture, and as we can see in the two photos, the same poor people carpet is in the background. Okay, we're moving on this. This looks good. We keep talking, and I say, hey, send me a picture of the camera turned on. So, sure enough, a little time later, same day, this is all on the same day, I get these pictures. You know what? That looks good. That looks like the Blackmagic 6K camera. So I decide to proceed with this. And I tell him, okay, you know what? Good. I'm in. What's the next step you want to do here? And we decide to exchange driver's licenses to make sure, you know, both people's identities are on the up and up. Now, I can't show his driver's license for, I don't know, legal reasons, we're going to say. I don't know why I can't. I just know I can't. But anyways, we exchange licenses, and we wait for the funds to go from my bank into PayPal. And we were going to do a PayPal transaction. So that seemed okay. And during this time, between the first time we started talking was October 1st. And this was about, the wait period was between about the October 3rd and the 13th. It took about 10 days for the funds to get to my PayPal account. But in that time, we kept talking, and I said one more time, I'm like, hey, I need a picture of the camera with my name next to it, just to make sure that this wasn't a scam. In very, very short order time, I got this picture. I felt confident. I felt good about this. I was like, okay, I feel like I've done my due diligence. Feel like I've asked for all of the kind of, you know, proof that it exists, photos I could possibly ask for. I feel good about this. So on the 13th, the funds roll into my PayPal account, and I message him in the morning saying, hey, I'm ready to go. If you can make sure the camera's sent out same day, then we're good. So he's like, yeah. He's like, I'll pack it up and we'll get it out the door. Perfect. I send him $30 for shipping, because that's what we priced it out through UPS. And then I sent him $500, one third of the funds, as like a security. Just, because no one's going to send you a camera blindly. So there has to be a little bit of give and take. And I understand that. So I sent him $500 as a security, and then he was supposed to send me the camera. I get these oddball messages saying, hey, the UPS guy didn't show up. I'm going to send it through Canada Post. I'm like, oh, not wild about that, but okay. Just make sure you pack it really well, because Canada Post is not the greatest shipper. And then this was on the 14th. This was on the 13th. On the 14th, he says the UPS didn't show up, so then he's going to send it out on the Monday. Then on Monday, he's like, yep. He's like, I'm going to go do it all. And then come the 16th, no replies. 17th, no replies. 18th, no replies. And from this point on, he has, ghosted me. So yeah, that's what happened here. I really thought that, I had done my due diligence and all, and instead I got scammed for $500. And what's sad is it's not even the money that bothers me. The $500 is a lot of money to a lot of people, including myself. I'm not ignorant to that situation. I'm not soda popping. Okay. Like $500 does mean a lot, but the camera means more to me than the $500 does. I actually would rather have him just sent me my camera. But now we have to go through the RCMP, which is the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. We have to go through the Calgary PD. We have to probably go through Saskatoon PD. It's going to become a whole thing. I'm probably going to have to go to small claims court about this. And it's all for such a stupid reason. Like, the thing is, we know the camera exists. I had done my due diligence in checking the address on his driver's license to make sure it was a real address, it looks fake, but shockingly, it was real. I checked the phone number to make sure it wasn't like, some random ass phone number. It was consistent with the area of Saskatchewan that he was in. I really thought I had done enough due diligence on this, and apparently I was super, super wrong. So yeah, I got scammed for $500. Technically $530. And my biggest mistake that I learned out of this was we had done the transaction as a friends and family transaction, mainly because, once again, I felt good about the transaction and the fees. I was trying to avoid paying as many fees as possible, of course. And that was actually what burned me, because I learned that if you do friends and family transactions, you waive any contesting rights that you may have if you did get scammed. You waive any right to complain or anything about that. You have to go through as a merchant. And I learned that. I did not know that. And now, like I said, we have to go through the police. I've looked into Kijiji. They said, they will not obviously release user information to another user. But if police put in an information request, they will release it to the police. So there's where we are with that. But I'm going to try and keep you guys updated periodically if there's any like major developments on this. But that's pretty much the long and short of it is, yeah, I got scammed for $500. Make sure that, you know what, I will say this, just don't do long distance dealing. Just don't. If the person is 6 hours away, just drive the 6 hours. I know it sounds awful, and that's why I had chosen to go this mailing route, because 6 hours one way sounded just terrible. So 12 hours of driving sounded just awful. But you know what? I'd be $530 richer if I had just gotten my ass into the car and drove the distance. But lessons were learned all around. We will see where we go with this. With any hope, Shiba Inu will pop off and I'll make my money back. Oh my God, I'm such an idiot. But yeah, so there's that, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. I've been meaning to make this video for the last month. It is November 7th as I'm recording this. The first 2 weeks, I kind of like I was kind of trying to reach out to the guy. I was trying to talk to police and see where they wanted to go. So there was a little bit of wait period. And then the last week of me wanting to record this, which was the previous week, I honest to God just couldn't turn on the camera. I just couldn't turn on and do this. It was just like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. But lessons were learned. Remember, guys, stuff is only a mistake if you never take anything from it. If you take something from it, then it's called an investment. So there you guys have it. If you guys want to know more about this, if you guys want to see other stuff I do, hey, click the sub button down below. Maybe check out some of my other channels down below, and I will see all of you on the next video. Bye.